You are listening to Weather Dual Storm Tracker. This broadcast compiles official National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration and National Weather Service products. This feed is provided for entertainment and informational purposes only. Always check official forecasts from the National Weather Service at weather.gov before making any decisions dependent upon the weather conditions. National Forecast Discussion. Good morning, this is the nation's weather summary. While dangerous winter conditions grip the central and eastern United States this week, the extreme cold is the lead story. In the upper Midwest, dangerously cold air is settling in. Across northeast Minnesota and northwest Wisconsin, high temperatures today may struggle to reach zero, contributing to wind chills of 25 to 35 degrees below zero tonight. The conditions become even more extreme by late week. Forecasts for the borderlands and the Iron Range suggest air temperatures could plummet to 35 to 40 degrees below zero Friday night into Saturday morning, with wind chills bottoming out between 40 and 50 degrees below zero. This is potentially near record-setting cold for International Falls and Hibbing, and extreme cold headlines are highly likely for this frigid stretch. Farther south, across the northern plains, strong Arctic air is also building. The high-pressure system responsible is exceptionally strong, with some models forecasting it to build to 1050 millibars over the upper Midwest, providing an ample supply of frigid air for any developing storms. Ahead of this main push, South Dakota will experience light snow Tuesday and Wednesday, which could be accompanied by wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour, creating blowing snow and hazardous travel near Sioux Falls. The Arctic outbreak will plunge into the central and southern plains by Friday. In Colorado, temperatures along the Front Range are forecasted to drop significantly, with high temperatures on Friday potentially only reaching the teens in Denver and single digits across the Northeast Plains. A high wind watch is in effect for parts of Wyoming, including typical gap wind areas like Bordeaux, with gusts up to 70 miles per hour possible through midday tomorrow. The cold air will provide the foundation for an impactful storm system across the southern tier and southeast this weekend. Model guidance is converging on the potential for a significant winter storm impacting areas from Texas eastward. Texas is anticipating an Arctic intrusion late Friday, with highs for Fort Worth and Dallas potentially dropping to the 40s or 30s. Across the Mid-South, including Arkansas and Tennessee, confidence is medium that a potentially impactful winter storm may affect the region Friday through the weekend, bringing a mix of snow and ice. In Raleigh, North Carolina, forecasters are tracking the strength of the Arctic high, which could be as strong as 1050 millibars over the northern plains, to determine the exact trajectory and impact of the storm system moving along the Gulf Coast. The most concerning scenario is a combination of very cold air paired with an amplified southern jet stream, a setup that is raising significant red flags for a heavy winter event across the southeast. Meanwhile, the far west remains under a remarkably resilient high-pressure ridge. Dry weather and above-average temperatures persist across California, Nevada, and Arizona through midweek. In the San Joaquin Valley, however, a dense fog advisory is in effect, with widespread low visibility expected to linger through the afternoon, and similar conditions are likely each morning this week. In Southern California, temperatures remain 10 to 15 degrees above normal, though a significant cooling trend begins Wednesday as the stubborn ridge finally breaks down, bringing a chance of minor light rain or drizzle to areas south of Point Conception by Thursday. National Short Range Forecast. Heavy snow downwind of the Great Lakes. Freeze warnings in effect for portions of southern Georgia down to central Florida. Rounds of shortwave energy rotating around the base of an upper low centered over Hudson Bay will generate frigid and gusty westerly flow over the Great Lakes today and Tuesday. Lake effect snow showers are expected to develop downwind of the lakes as a result. Generally, accumulations of around 8 to 12 inches are likely, with isolated higher amounts possible by Wednesday morning. High temperatures in the single digits to below zero will be 20 to 30 degrees below average for much of the Midwest today. Clear skies across the southeast will contribute to below average temperatures overnight. Low temperatures in the low to mid-30s support freeze warnings for portions of southern Georgia into northern and central Florida early this morning and tonight. Elsewhere, upper ridging will keep temperatures above average in the west this week. An upper disturbance will bring another round of snow showers to the northern plains and upper Midwest on Tuesday. Heavy snow and icing discussion. Great Lakes, upper Midwest. Days 1 to 3. Shortwave trough passages around a deep low anchored over Hudson Bay maintain cyclonic flow and lake effect snow across the Great Lakes snow belts at least into this weekend. The Great Lakes are ice-free away from the narrower bays. 850 millibars temperatures of -20 degrees Celsius to -25 degrees Celsius over surface water temperatures between +2 to 6 degrees Celsius will continue to make for a high delta T and convective development. A reinforcing trough currently over the Upper Peninsula swings east across the rest of the lakes today with a leading Arctic cold front. Post-frontal passage northwest flow through early Tuesday will promote multi-banded snow into the Upper Peninsula and northern lower Michigan, where day 1 the Weather Prediction Center probabilities for greater than 6 inches are 40 to 70%. For Lakes Erie, Ontario, southwesterly flow veers W-ly today with ongoing single-band lake effect snow shifting south of Buffalo and onto the Tug Hill Plateau. Day 1 probabilistic winter precipitation forecast for greater than 6 inches are 60 to 80% in these zones. Lake effect snow continues through Tuesday night, so Day 2 probabilistic winter precipitation forecast for greater than 6 inches are especially highlighted over the Tug Hill with values over 80%. A brief lull occurs Tuesday evening in the western lakes under brief ridging until the next shortwave, a clipper system shifts east through the region Tuesday night through Wednesday. A surface low lifts from Iowa across the lower peninsula through that time with synoptic snow bands across northern Iowa and southern Wisconsin, where Day 2. 5 snow probabilities for greater than 4 inches have risen to 20%. Brief lake effect snow can be expected Wednesday into Wednesday night, where Day 3 probabilistic winter precipitation forecast for greater than 4 inches are 40 to 70% in the western upper peninsula, the length of the western lower peninsula shore, and east of Lakes Erie and Ontario. Yet another clipper is quick on the heels on a similar path to the previous, with snow bands likely over northern Iowa, southern Wisconsin and southern Michigan again Wednesday night. Central High Plains, Day 1. Right entrance jet dynamics continue to provide lift over a baroclinic zone on the Central High Plains as high pressure builds south over the northern plains. A decent swath of snow with narrow embedded bands of moderate to locally heavy snow have developed from northern Colorado Front Range to western Kansas. These will persist into or through the morning as should slowly sag south to southwestern Kansas as the jet also shifts south with the shortwave trough pushing down the Rockies. An additional few inches can be expected in the better bands. The probability of significant icing is less than 10%. Excessive rainfall discussion. Day 1. The probability of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance is less than 5%. Day 2. The probability of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance is less than 5%. Day 3. The probability of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance is less than 5%. Gulf Coast. Guidance has hinted at possible quantitative precipitation forecast of 1 to 2 inches for parts of the southeast Texas and western Louisiana coastline and points inland for this period. However, the majority of the deeper convection will likely remain offshore. There is a non-zero potential for very isolated areas of flash flooding. Extended forecast. Another day of lake-effect snow is likely across the Great Lakes Thursday, with potentially heavy amounts piling up downwind of Lake Ontario after a snowy short-range period too. Meanwhile, some light to moderate rain is forecast across the southeast Thursday, while the low aloft could help produce some precipitation across Southern California. Then precipitation is forecast to spread across parts of the southwest, the southern, central Rockies, and across much of the southeastern United States into Friday. With the cold air in place, ice and snow are likely across much of the southern tier in likely a notable winter storm. The precipitation, including snow and ice, is forecast to spread east into the Carolinas and mid-Atlantic on Saturday, lasting until Sunday and potentially spreading north into the northeast. Model guidance has converged on the potential for an impactful storm, but it will take additional time to refine the details of precipitation amounts and type, so continue to monitor forecasts. Elsewhere, precipitation could increase across the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies this weekend as shortwaves move through. Cold temperatures are forecast into the north-central United States starting Thursday under an Arctic surface high, which will spill much colder than average conditions farther south and east for Friday into the weekend. The northern plains to upper Midwest can expect extreme and dangerous cold, with temperatures likely reaching the -20s and -30s by Friday and Saturday morning, and even colder wind chills potentially reaching -50 degrees Fahrenheit in some locations. Even highs are forecast to stay below 0 degrees Fahrenheit there. Much colder than average temperatures will expand into the Central Plains Friday and well south toward the Gulf Coast and east across the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic, northeast over the weekend. Highs in the teens as far south as Kansas, Missouri and across the Ohio Valley into Pennsylvania will be around 20 to 30 degrees below average. Temperatures may start to moderate by Monday as the high weakens, though remain below normal across the Gulf Coast to eastern seaboard. Meanwhile, the Rockies should block the cold air from moving into the west, and temperatures will generally be a few degrees above average in the Great Basin most days. Severe weather outlook Day 1. Thunderstorms are not expected across the United States today or tonight. Severe weather outlook Day 2. Thunderstorms are not expected on Tuesday or Tuesday night. Severe weather outlook Day 3. Thunderstorms are not expected on Wednesday. Fire weather outlook. No critical areas. Synopsis. Fire weather concerns are generally low across the continental United States today. The one exception will be across parts of central into southwest Florida, where dry post-frontal conditions are expected during the afternoon. A brief overlap of around 10 miles per hour sustained northerly surface winds and 20 to 30% relative humidity may yield locally elevated fire weather conditions. Space weather update. Solar activity is likely to be at moderate levels, R1, R2, minor, moderate, with a slight chance for additional X-class flares, R3 strong, through the 21st of January, primarily due to the magnetic structure and recent history of region 4341. Atlantic tropical outlook. The Atlantic hurricane season is currently inactive. Routine issuance will resume on May 15. Pacific tropical outlook. The Pacific hurricane season is currently inactive. Routine issuance will resume on May 15. Warnings summary. There are currently 21 active life safety warnings across the continental United States. This day in weather history. In 1977, snow fell in Miami, Florida for the first and only time in recorded history. In 1996, rapid snowmelt and heavy rain caused disastrous flooding across the Northeast, forcing thousands to flee their homes. National temperature extremes. The national high temperature in the last 24 hours was 86 in Escondido, California and San Pasqual Valley, California and Hollywood, Florida and Homestead, Florida. The national low was -20 in Warroad, Minnesota and International Falls, Minnesota and Peter Sinks, Utah. Did you know? The windiest place on Earth is widely considered to be Commonwealth Bay, Antarctica, where winds regularly exceed 150 miles per hour. You are listening to Weather Dual Storm Tracker. This broadcast compiles official National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration and National Weather Service products. This feed is provided for entertainment and informational purposes only. Always check official forecasts from the National Weather Service at weather.gov before making any decisions dependent upon the weather conditions. National Forecast Discussion. Good morning, this is the nation's weather summary. While dangerous winter conditions grip the central and eastern United States this week, the extreme cold is the lead story. In the upper Midwest, dangerously cold air is settling in. Across northeast Minnesota and northwest Wisconsin, high temperatures today may struggle to reach zero, contributing to wind chills of 25 to 35 degrees below zero tonight. The conditions become even more extreme by late week. Forecasts for the borderlands and the Iron Range suggest air temperatures could plummet to 35 to 40 degrees below zero Friday night into Saturday morning, with wind chills bottoming out between 40 and 50 degrees below zero. This is potentially near record-setting cold for International Falls and Hibbing, and extreme cold headlines are highly likely for this frigid stretch. Farther south, across the northern plains, strong Arctic air is also building. The high-pressure system responsible is exceptionally strong, with some models forecasting it to build to 1050 millibars over the upper Midwest, providing an ample supply of frigid air for any developing storms. Ahead of this main push, South Dakota will experience light snow Tuesday and Wednesday, which could be accompanied by wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour, creating blowing snow and hazardous travel near Sioux Falls. The Arctic outbreak will plunge into the central and southern plains by Friday. In Colorado, temperatures along the Front Range are forecasted to drop significantly, with high temperatures on Friday potentially only reaching the teens in Denver and single digits across the Northeast Plains. A high wind watch